realized that there is a resistance from our market to book a call with us because they think to say yes to a book call is to say yes to buying. People are not booking call for us. It doesn't mean we're not the voice of the industry. You guys might still not have these kind of predicaments, but nonetheless, part of the market that I'm dealing with is like this in my market. Maybe in your market, it doesn't matter, right? But what we noticed was that people were less likely to book a game plan call. We changed the name at first to make it like a different offer. So instead of a strategy session, it's a game plan session. And that's also one thing you can do as well, which is repackage and brand the part of like the process so it feels new and fresh and people will want it because people want new things. And doing that actually did well at first. We got more calls because we just called it a game plan call. And we're like, hey, this is a game plan session. We're gonna create a game plan with you, like a battle plan and stuff like that. And we noticed that we're like, oh, that's not, it's not a good thing. Because people then don't book a call and talk to us at all unless they fully feel ready to say yes or no to us about the program. And then I realized that kind of defeats the purpose of organic, because organic is about creating a very personable process. If I wanted to keep it cold or only get people on calls when they're ready to say yes or no, I would run ads to a funnel. But it's the fact that conversion should be higher organically because we're creating a tangible process. Like Mike's also in our mastermind as well. He runs a cleaning business, and they just said like 49K, I think, last month. Like it's a new record month for them. And he's like, dude, all I done is like, you were so right about organic. You were saying about how he used to run YouTube organic and ads and an email list and everything. He's like, I just added the organic sales process that you teach in SEC where like we get future chats and we talk to the person, and conversion went so up and choke rate went so up because we added a personable element. People want to personally connect. But I realized because people think, that they have to be ready to buy the program or not before the book call. They don't. So we create a same cold effect in the warm strategy. Well, this is a bottleneck, right? It's a constraint because we want people to talk to us. So we have an opportunity to qualify and nurture and all that stuff, but they're not even wanting to book a call. And the setter was getting a lot of that too. Like, I'm still not clear on this. And you guys know this. Your market's never going to be ready. There's no such thing as ready. It's a mental fog delusion in the mind. Like, it's not a real thing, right? So the point, like a strategy of lead nurture. Lead gen is getting people's attention, like getting them in the pipeline. Lead nurture is how you turn them into considering to buy, right? And the sales is conversion of those leads. We just break down the sales process in a simple way. So our lead nurture started to drop. Our lead gen was high still. Viral post words. We have this. Content's going out. A lot of you guys could actually be facing this right now, which is not, I don't have a lead gen, but rather you don't have lead nurture. And I've noticed that there's a lot of, when I look at your guys' businesses, I do see an absence in some sense of nurture processes, which is the longevity of getting people to want to buy your program since if they're already in your world. And I think too many people think they misunderstand like that lead gen equals people on your calendar. Lead gen doesn't equal people on your calendar. Lead gen equals people in your chats. Does that make sense, that distinction? Because that distinction is important. Getting people's attention doesn't mean they're going to consider buying yet. It just means they got your attention. Like they didn't know you before, now they know you. That's generation lead. And they opted into something. And in organic, they opt into content by engaging with it, just liking it, commenting on it, sending you a DM, joining a group. Any form of engagement is an opt-in organic. In a funnel, it's obviously very clear. They put their email in somewhere and they join your funnel. So lead gen isn't actually the cure-all for it all. Lead nurture, I've started to realize, is the biggest factor. Lead nurture is the biggest KPI to sales happening. Because see, if you have 100 leads, but you have a really strong nurture process, you could turn 30 to 40 of those into clients eventually. If you have 1,000 leads and you have a poor nurture process or don't really have a nurture process, you might struggle to get 10 or 20 of them. And then you might think I need more leads. In that sense, it might be nurture. So I invite you guys to also look at your own business and go, is my lead nurture process as strong as it can be? And so you go, what's the difference? Well, what lead gen is getting their attention. Lead nurture, a huge aspect of that is the setter's conversation with them. So the conversation in the chat, right? What we teach you guys to say to them, talk to them to get to the place where they consider booking a call. But it's also content follow-ups and messages. It's all follow-up. So what you do after the initial high is lead nurture. Your Facebook group, your content you put out, the content you customize for them, you send to them, the follow-up questions you ask, that actually determines how many people consider saying yes to an offer made to book a call. And that's what we realized. Even for us, we were like, we really don't focus on lead nurture because we just assume we'll go viral, people will be inspired enough to just jump straight to calls. And that did happen. But that success kind of deceived us to believe it's a system. It's not a system. Those are the few percentage of the audience that are ready to go because we're inspiring them. There's a large percentage of the audience that isn't ready to go, but a few touch points of nurture, or 5 to 10 touch points of nurture, will eventually make them ready. And we noticed this by accident because we would add tons of value to challenges and one-day events and all this stuff and master classes, and eventually people will come around and buy. Even my ads ROI, when someone books a call through one of my ads, it's funny because my media buyer will say, oh, we got a sale. And I'm like, that person's in my organic. And I realize even the organic nurture, eventually those people end up, they come from my organic, they get nurture, but they end up just clicking on an ad because that was the time where the ad just made them want to say yes. So the organic still is responsible for nurturing them enough to say yes. So all this led up to kind of a realization I had last year, looking at stuff with my team, is because there is a resistance to people booking a call, like that's 45 minutes to an hour or so, because they presume that they have to be ready to say yes to you. So that uncomfortable tension inside of them that like is afraid to like buy stuff or be sold or have a decision-making conversation with you, it completely averts so many of the people from wanting to respond to you or talk to you at all or say yes to your proposal to book a call. Like, get this, like if they think that talking to you will lead to a call and a call leads to them having to buy, they most likely won't even respond to you. If they see your content, they know what you sell and they know your offer, especially in follow-ups. So we realized having only in our arsenal the option to book a call with us to consider buying a program was actually starting to become a constraint. This might not be true for everyone here. You might not have reached that constraint. So you have to make sure you make your own intelligent assessment of your business and go, am I there yet? Am I finding an issue with people wanting to book a call? I'm not saying talk about the last 3 people that say no to you. Like, see if there's a pattern week after week before you go, all right, maybe I should change the sales process. Because if it's not, don't. Like, maximize having straight to go to book a call. Because obviously if you had to snap your fingers, you would want it to be as short as possible. Like, they see your stuff, you get on a call, they buy. So everything added after that is to just remove constraints or is to make the conversion better. So if the conversion is not bad, don't try to solve a problem that's not bad.